Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a few questions. Ms. Westerkamp, are you familiar with the term Performance Improvement Plan, sometimes referred to as a PIP?
Yes.
Would you agree that employees subject to a PIP are essentially being notified that some aspect of their performance is unacceptable?
Yes.
Have you ever been subject to a performance improvement plan in your time at the Department of Justice?
No, sir. Senator, I have received excellent ratings.
So there's never been any issue your superiors or supervisors have had that required anything like a performance improvement plan?
No, Senator.
In a moment that quickly captured national attention, a tense political exchange unfolded when a high-profile nominee faced tough questioning during a confirmation hearing. The spotlight intensified when Congressman Adam Schiff raised a critical concern, one that seemed to leave the nominee momentarily frozen. The issue, a surprising lack of direct courtroom experience, something many consider fundamental for the role in question. This unexpected revelation not only sparked debate among lawmakers but also ignited widespread discussion across media platforms and social networks. Moments like these remind us how crucial preparation, experience, and transparency are in high-stakes public roles. But beyond the viral headlines, there's a deeper story here about qualifications, political strategy, and the increasing scrutiny faced by those stepping into powerful positions.
Thank you. Lane, I wanted to ask you about your experience trying cases. Have you ever tried a case to a verdict before a jury?
Senator, I've worked on a bench trial, and as a federal law clerk, I handled 7 trials.
I was a federal law clerk as well. I wouldn't say that I handled the...
As the hearing progressed, the atmosphere grew increasingly intense. Adam Schiff, known for his sharp questioning style, carefully laid out his concerns. Focusing on the nominee's professional background, he pointed out that despite holding significant legal titles, the nominee had never actually tried a case in court, a detail that raised eyebrows across the room. For many observers, this wasn't just a minor gap. It struck at the core of the nominee's readiness for the role. Legal experts often argue that courtroom experience shapes a lawyer's ability to think under pressure, handle complex arguments, and make critical decisions in real time. Without that foundation, critics questioned whether the nominee could effectively perform in a position that demands exactly those skills. The moment of hesitation that followed, Schiff's question only added to the growing tension, as viewers began to interpret it as a sign of uncertainty.
Judge handled the trials, but let me ask you about your experience with the bench trial. Were you the lead counsel in that case?
No, Senator, I was part of a small team of attorneys.
And were you the senior or associate counsel on the case?
Yes, Senator, I was an associate on the case. There were 4 attorneys on the case. I was responsible for helping prepare witnesses, helping second chair depositions. I also took a deposition myself. I cross-examined a witness at trial, and I was responsible for all the pre-trial and post-trial briefing, findings of facts, conclusions of law.
And of the 4 attorneys, how many were more senior to you on that team?
Senator, I believe 2. There were several people who came in to assist, but again, my responsibilities, I was the primary drafter for all the briefing.
No, I heard that. I just want to understand. So your trial experience consists of being the second or third senior lawyer on a bench trial.
Supporters of the nominee, however, quickly pushed back against the criticism. They argued that legal expertise comes in many forms and that courtroom litigation is just one path among many in the legal profession. According to them, advisory roles, policy work, and administrative experience can be equally valuable sometimes, even more relevant depending on the position. They emphasized that modern legal systems are complex and multifaceted, requiring a broad range of skills beyond trial experience alone. Still, critics remained unconvinced, insisting that hands-on courtroom exposure is irreplaceable when it comes to understanding the real-world application of the law. This divide highlights a broader debate within the legal and political communities. What truly defines qualification? Is it traditional experience, or can alternative career paths provide an equally strong foundation?
All the briefing.
But you've never done jury selection, never done voir dire, for example.
When I was a law clerk, Senator, 5 of the trials before the judge who I clerked for were jury trials, and so I had the opportunity.
And I was a law clerk. It was a great experience, but I didn't pick the jury when I was a law clerk. I didn't question the jurors. I didn't seek to use a peremptory or other challenge for cause for a juror. That's really not the role of a law clerk. You observe it, but you don't do it yourself. And so have you, apart from the bench trial, have you cross-examined witnesses in any kind of other jury trial or any jury trial?
Senator, in that case, I cross-examined a lay witness. I also deposed an expert, and I was...
Never before a jury. Have you ever...
Meanwhile, the public reaction added another layer to the story. Clips of the exchange spread rapidly online, with viewers analyzing every pause, expression, and response. Some saw the nominee's reaction as a natural moment of pressure under intense questioning, while others interpreted it as a lack of preparedness. Social media platforms became battlegrounds of opinion, with hashtags trending and commentators offering sharply divided takes. This incident also reflects how modern political moments are no longer confined to hearing rooms. They instantly become part of a larger digital conversation. In today's environment, perception can be just as powerful as reality, and a single moment can shape public opinion in lasting ways. The viral nature of this exchange demonstrates how quickly narratives can form and how difficult it can be to control them once they take hold.
Yes, Senator, I've, in that matter, handled several motions in limine as well as in other matters, particularly at preliminary injunction stage. Some of the litigation I've been involved with has had extensive evidentiary records at the preliminary injunction stage. So I've filed and handled several motions, many motions in limine, Senator.
Many motions in limine in that one bench trial?
Yes, Senator. In that one bench trial, I handled several motions in limine, but I've also handled motions in limine in other litigation, again, more at the preliminary injunction stage, seeking to clear the establish a clear record going into a preliminary injunction hearing where there may be live witnesses, evidentiary issues, kind of at that initial stage.
Okay, thank you. I'm not trying to denigrate your experience as a law clerk. I think it's a great experience, and I highly encourage those graduating from law school to pursue clerkships. But having tried cases as an assistant U.S. attorney, it's not the same thing to observe them and to do them yourself. I'm sure you would agree. But thank you. I appreciate it. And Mr.
In the end, this moment serves as a powerful reminder of the intense scrutiny faced by public figures, especially during confirmation processes. It raises important questions about what qualifications truly matter and how they should be evaluated. While some may view the nominee's lack of trial experience as a critical weakness, others see it as an outdated benchmark in a rapidly evolving professional landscape. What's clear, however, is that moments like these have a lasting impact not just on individual careers, but on public trust in institutions. As the debate continues, one thing remains certain. In today's political arena, every detail matters, every question counts, and every response can shape the course of a career. For viewers and voters alike, it's a reminder to look beyond the headlines and consider the full picture before forming conclusions.